My fiancée called off the wedding after I asked about her trip with friends. Her friend accidentally sent me a photo. Not of her, of the room. It had 2 wine glasses, 1 suit jacket, and a hand, with his name tattooed. So I sent it to her parents, along with my RSVP decline. My name's Derek. I'm 30, and until recently, I was 2 weeks away from marrying someone I thought I knew. Melissa and I had been together for just over 2 years. We met through mutual friends at a Halloween party. She came as a pirate. I was a last-minute guy with a name tag. I wasn't flashy. She was. That was part of the draw. She liked art, concerts, spontaneous road trips. I liked spreadsheets, budgeting apps, and plans. Somehow it worked. We moved in together about a year after dating, and honestly, it was good. Not perfect, but steady. She had some friends I didn't care for, especially Lara, who had a habit of accidentally oversharing things Melissa said. But I didn't make a big deal out of it. You don't marry someone thinking one of her friends is going to blow everything up. You marry because you trust. The wedding was scheduled for April 14th, a small vineyard north of Charlotte. We picked the place together. My mom cried when she saw the gazebo. Melissa said she'd always dreamed of a ceremony outdoors. I spent months coordinating vendors, drafting a seating chart in Excel, and tweaking the playlist. She handled decor, dresses, and her bachelorette weekend. That trip was supposed to be a simple 4-day getaway to Asheville with her 2 best friends, Lara and Jen. Melissa told me they'd booked a cozy cabin near the mountains, planned a wine tour, maybe a spa day, and a lot of girl time before the chaos. I kissed her goodbye in our driveway on a Thursday morning. Her suitcase was stuffed, oversized wine glass strapped to the side. She smiled and said, "Don't call too much. I'll be drunk on Rose." I laughed and waved her off. No red flags. Not yet. Thursday passed without much contact, which I expected. Friday, I got a text around noon. Hike was amazing. No signal half the time. Love you. That night, I sent her a meme. No response. Weird, but I figured she was exhausted. Saturday came. Still no real texts. I sent, "Everything good? Just checking in." She replied 3 hours later. "Hey, totally fine. Just chilling with the girls. Phone keeps dying LOL." Something about it felt off. Melissa was usually the kind of person who posted everything, especially trips. But there wasn't a single Instagram story. No photos, no tags. Just silence. Around 9 p.m., I was watching a rerun of Shark Tank and scrolling through Reddit when my phone buzzed with a messenger notification. It was from Lara. The message was simple. "Ugh, I forgot to send this to Jen. My bad LOL." Attached was a photo. The image looked like a cozy cabin room, fireplace, fur rug, and a tray with 2 glasses of red wine. I could see the edge of a couch, a coffee table, and a hand resting lazily on a throw blanket. It took me a few seconds before I zoomed in. There were 2 wine glasses, a single suit jacket slung over the back of the armchair, and a man's hand. Not just a hand, but a heavily tattooed one. Across the fingers, in script, was the name, Trevor. I stared at it. That tattoo didn't belong to anyone I knew, and certainly not any of the girls Melissa said she was traveling with. I didn't respond. I didn't even open the message officially. Instead, I saved the photo, backed it up, and sat in silence for a full 5 minutes. My ears felt hot, but I didn't panic. Instead, I sent Melissa a calm text. "How's the wine?" Trevor picking the bottle. I didn't expect a fast reply. I didn't get one either. 45 minutes passed. Then, finally, she called. "Are you going through my messages now?" She snapped before I even said hello. "Melissa, what are you talking about?" "Lara just told me you're being weird. You're freaking out over a picture." I asked a question, I said. Didn't accuse anyone. "Well, maybe you should try trusting me instead of acting like a psycho." Her voice was sharp, defensive, but not surprised. I let her rant. I told her to enjoy the rest of her weekend. And then I hung up. The next morning, I woke up to a long message. Not an apology, not a denial. Just this. "I've been thinking, and I don't know if I'm in the right place emotionally to go through with the wedding right now. I need space. I think we should postpone." I read the text twice. Postpone. Not cancel. Not explain. Just back away. So I made 3 calls. First, to the venue, to ask if our deposit could be converted into a credit or transferred. Second, to my cousin Daniel. He worked IT, and I wanted to know how to recover any deleted messages or media, just in case. Third, to my mom. I told her Melissa needed more time. I didn't give details. Not yet. Later that day, I tried to call Melissa. She didn't pick up. So I texted, "Are we postponing? Or are you ending this?" Her response came after 2 hours. "I just need time. Please don't pressure me." That night, Lara posted a group shot on her story. It was only 3 girls in a kitchen, no location tagged. But the room didn't match the cabin photo she sent me by mistake. I reverse searched the original photo's background. and found the exact Airbnb listing. A 2-bedroom cabin, booked for 2 guests. 1 queen bed, booked under the name T. Harper. Trevor Harper. I didn't know who he was yet, but I knew enough, and I wasn't done digging. I didn't reply to Melissa after she said she needed time. I gave her space, but not because I respected her decision. I wanted to see what she would do when she thought I wasn't watching. That night, I created a new email and used it to message the host of the Airbnb listed under T. Harper. I pretended to be a potential guest, asking whether the cabin was good for groups of 4. The host responded in less than an hour. Hi, thanks for reaching out. This property is really best for couples or solo travelers. It's a 1-bedroom with a queen bed. Just had a booking in yesterday, actually. Super quiet spot. So much for a girl's trip. I didn't message back. I didn't need to. Instead, I texted Lara. Thanks for the photo the other night. Great view. Which cabin was that again? No reply. An hour later, I got a call. It wasn't Lara. It was Jen, Melissa's other friend. Her voice was low, hesitant. Hey, I think you're probably putting things together already, so I won't lie. Melissa didn't go on the trip with just us. Trevor was there too. I said nothing. Jen kept going. She told us you guys were in a rough patch and she just needed to figure things out before committing. I didn't think she meant it like this. She said Trevor was just someone to talk to. But then they started sharing a room and, well, look, I'm sorry. I stayed silent. Jen eventually hung up, saying, you didn't hear it from me. Now I had a name, a location, and a timeline. But I didn't want revenge. Not yet. I wanted clarity. Back when we were still planning the wedding, Melissa and I shared a Google Drive folder titled Big Day. It had seating charts, vendor contacts, even a draft of her vows. That night, I opened the folder. A new document had been added 2 days ago. Backup budget. It listed costs for canceling the wedding, selling the dress, and breaking the catering contract. Under housing options, it had 2 bullet points. Stay with Lara. Crash with Trevor, short term. That was the first time I felt something change in me. Not anger, not yet. Just something cold. Detached. Like I was standing outside a house I used to live in, watching someone else inside rearrange my furniture. I clicked back into my text messages and scrolled to a thread from 2 months ago. Melissa had said, Trevor's just someone I used to know. He had a crush on me forever ago, but it was never a thing. Don't worry. Back then, I hadn't even thought twice. The next morning, I woke up to a new RSVP in the mail. Melissa's cousin. Handwritten note at the bottom. Can't wait to see you both tie the knot. I tossed it into the trash. I wasn't going to cancel anything yet. Not until I had everything. At lunch, I got a call from Melissa's dad, Rob. Friendly tone. He asked how I was doing and mentioned they were working on their travel plans. We just wanted to confirm timing for the rehearsal dinner, he said. Melissa mentioned she might be coming back from somewhere right before. She didn't tell you? I asked. Tell us what? She's not sure she wants to get married anymore, I said bluntly. She told me 2 days ago she wants to postpone. A beat of silence. Rob said. She told us everything was on schedule. Maybe she meant with Trevor, I said. Another pause. A longer one. Who's Trevor? I didn't answer. I forwarded him the Airbnb photo. No words. Just the image. 3 minutes later, I got a call. I didn't answer. Rob left a voicemail, just breathing and a whispered, Jesus Christ. I wasn't trying to destroy Melissa's relationship with her parents. I just didn't want to be the only one looking at the truth. That evening, I went home and found Melissa's dress in the hallway closet, the one we used for coats and stuff we never touched, still wrapped in the boutique's plastic. I carried it to the guest room and shut the door. Then I emailed the caterer. Subject, pending status of April 14th wedding. Message, please pause all final preparations for now. I'll follow up within 48 hours. Do not confirm anything with the bride unless I explicitly say so. Later that night, my phone lit up. Melissa was calling. I didn't answer. Then she texted. I heard from Dad. I can't believe you'd involve them. This isn't what I wanted. I replied with a single sentence. Neither was lying about a trip you took with your ex. 10 minutes passed. Then, you don't know the full story. I was confused. You were pulling away, and I didn't feel like you wanted this anymore. That was new. Turning it on me. I sent. Let's not pretend this was a miscommunication. You had your trip. Make your choice. But don't expect me to wait in a tux. There was no response after that. The next morning, I received an email from the wedding photographer. Hey Derek. Just checking. Final shot list due by tomorrow. Can't wait to capture your big day. I stared at it for a while. Then I hit reply. Hey Sarah, thanks for checking in. One change, there may not be a bride. Just make sure to get good photos of the sky that day. It'll be the only thing that's still honest. She didn't reply. Later that evening, I opened the photo Lara sent me again. Zoomed in. The hand with the Trevor tattoo. The 2 glasses. The jacket on the chair. Everything was right there, hiding in plain sight. I copied it, saved it to a USB, and started writing a message to Melissa's parents. Hi Rob and Dana. I hope this doesn't come off as dramatic, but I feel you deserve to see this before you finalize your travel. Attached is a photo Melissa's friend Lara accidentally sent me 3 nights ago. This was during the girls' trip. You'll notice 2 glasses, a man's hand with a visible tattoo, and a suit jacket. I've confirmed the cabin was booked for 2. Melissa has told me she wants to postpone the wedding. I won't be attending. Derek. I attached the photo and hit send. 2 hours later, Dana called. I let it ring out. Then she texted. We are so sorry. We had no idea. Please call us when you're ready. We love you. That made my chest tighten, not because I needed their approval, but because for a moment, I remembered what it felt like to believe we were building a family. I never had strong ties to my own. Melissa's parents were kind, warm, and genuinely excited for our future. I'd just removed that future from their plans. I took a walk, half an hour through my neighborhood, hoodie up, hands in my jacket. I didn't cry. I didn't feel like I needed to. What I felt was something steadier, like concrete setting under my feet. For the first time since the whole mess started, I was fully grounded. When I got back, I logged into our wedding website. Melissa hadn't updated it. The countdown still read, 12 days to go. I deleted my name from the RSVP list. Then I deleted the entire registry. That night, I went into the shared planning folder and removed myself from all documents. I changed the permissions so only Melissa could access it. I didn't want to leave a trace. No drama, just absence. I emailed the venue next. Subject, RSVP decline and open date. Hi, I'd like to formally release our April 14th booking. If you have a wait list, please offer the spot to another couple. There will be no event. Thank you for your help these past months. Derek. I left out any mention of Melissa. That was important. I wasn't going to make it easier for her to play the look what he did game later. I wasn't cruel. I was just finished. The next day, I boxed up everything wedding-related. Invitations, programs, her dress, our matching champagne flutes with D&M etched on them. I labeled the box wedding, canceled, and set it by the front door. Then I heard a knock. It was Lara. I didn't expect her to show up. She looked nervous, biting the inside of her cheek like she wanted to back out before I even opened the door. Can I talk to you? She asked. I stepped aside. She stood in the middle of the living room, arms crossed. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. That makes 2 of us. She told us she was breaking things off with you. Lara continued. She said Trevor was just helping her sort her feelings out. Trevor helpfully booked a 1-bedroom cabin. That's generous of him. I didn't know she hadn't told you. I thought you knew. I swear. I didn't interrupt. I just listened. She kept going. She said you were becoming cold. Like, emotionally unavailable. And she needed space before the wedding to figure out what she wanted. I raised an eyebrow. And she figured it out in bed with him? Lara looked away. I sent that photo by accident, but maybe that was fate. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's over. I just thought you should know. She's still telling people you freaked out and sabotaged everything. That made me pause. She said I sabotaged it? Yeah. She's spinning it like you blew things out of proportion, got jealous, and pulled out. I nodded slowly. Of course she was. Melissa couldn't stand being the villain in any story. It wasn't in her nature to take blame. She always found a way to frame herself as the misunderstood heroine, even when she was the one holding the matchbox. Before Lara left, she turned back at the door. I know you probably hate me, but I think you dodged something big. I didn't say anything. I just closed the door behind her. Later that night, I finally heard from Melissa again. This time, it was a wall of text. I don't know what you're telling people, but this was never your decision to make. You had no right to send that photo to my parents. You humiliated me. You were supposed to love me, not ruin everything. You always needed control, and now you got it. I hope you're happy. I stared at it. Reread it once. Then I opened notes and typed a response. I kept it short. You called it off. I confirmed it. You brought Trevor. I brought the truth. I hope you're happy. Then I left the chat on read. Around midnight, I got another RSVP in the mail. This one didn't matter either. I tossed it into the fireplace and watched it curl to ash. I didn't respond to Melissa after that. I didn't need to. The story was already moving without me. The next morning, I woke up to 3 missed calls from her mom. Then a 4th. I didn't pick up. Instead, I forwarded all wedding-related emails to a new folder labeled Archived. I didn't want to delete them. I just didn't want to see them anymore. The florist texted that afternoon, asking if we still wanted the white gardenias. I replied with, feel free to repurpose the order. We won't be needing them. An hour later, I got an email from the officiant, Reverend Hale, a soft-spoken man in his 60s we'd chosen together after a single video call. Just checking in, Derek. Wanted to confirm ceremony notes. Melissa mentioned she might be making some changes. All still on. I wrote back. Thanks for your guidance. The ceremony is cancelled. I won't be attending. You may hear a different version of why. Please trust that this decision is final. He replied simply. Understood. I wish you peace. That evening, I walked to the UPS store with a box under my arm. It was labeled Melissa, Office. Inside was her engagement ring, the champagne flutes, the custom napkins with our initials, and a copy of the photo Lara had sent, printed and slipped into the envelope, under the heading. You left this part out. I insured the package and asked for a signature on delivery. The clerk asked if I wanted to include a note. I shook my head. When I got home, I took off my shoes, dropped my keys in the bowl by the door, and sat on the couch. Just for a second, I let myself feel the stillness. No tension, no countdown, no pretending. My phone buzzed. It was from an unknown number. One image. Trevor. His profile photo. A mirror selfie. Same hand, same tattoo. No caption. Just that. I stared at it. Then typed. Hope the wine was worth it. And blocked the number. The following morning, I opened my inbox to find an RSVP from Melissa's aunt, clearly unaware that the wedding was no longer happening. She wrote, Can't wait to see the two of you walk down the aisle. It's been a long time coming. I hit reply. Unfortunately, the event has been cancelled. I wish you and your family well. Then I called the caterer to finalize the cancellation. They asked if I wanted to transfer the credit to another couple. I said yes. A young couple on the wait list had already contacted the venue. The planner was nearly in tears when she told me they'd been trying to book for over a year. I'll let them know they have it, she said. Are you sure? I'm sure, I said. Give them the full setup. No charge. She paused. Are you okay? I will be. That night, Melissa finally called again. I let it go to voicemail. She left a message. Her voice was strained. I don't know what story you're telling people, but you've twisted everything. I never meant to hurt you. It just happened. Trevor was a mistake, okay? It didn't mean anything. I panicked. You were always so calm, so sure, and I felt like I couldn't breathe. But you didn't have to burn everything down. Another pause. Please don't send anything else to my office. You made your point. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. But I did one more thing. The night before the original wedding date, I logged into our shared Dropbox account. It was still linked to her email. I uploaded the photo of the cabin, the suit jacket, and the tattooed hand, one final time. I renamed the file, The Real Guest List. Then I logged out for good. The next day, April 14th, was clear and sunny. The weather Melissa had hoped for. The vineyard, I'm told, looked beautiful. I didn't go. I spent the day hiking alone through a trail 2 hours outside the city, my phone off, no signal. At the peak, I sat on a flat rock and looked out over the hills. I didn't cry. I didn't smile. I didn't do anything dramatic. But I did something important. I stood up, brushed the dirt off my jeans, and walked back down. At home, I took one last look at the box of RSVP cards still sitting by the door. I picked them up, tore each one down the middle, and dropped them into the trash. Melissa never texted again after that. Neither did Trevor. But 2 weeks later, I got a handwritten note from the couple who took our wedding date. We don't know the full story, but your kindness changed our lives. We got married on your day, and it was perfect. Thank you. I folded the note and tucked it into my wallet. And that's where it stays. And a different ending than the one she planned. And that's the story. If you're still here, that means you're one of us. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button. I drop new chaos every single day. And trust me, tomorrow's story, it's even worse than this one.